A nephew of slain Negros Oriental Governor Roel Degamo believes that a syndicate ordered the hit on his uncle. The lawyers of Negros Oriental Congressman Arnie Teves reiterate that their client has nothing to gain from Degamo's death. And in sports, we bring you the highlights of the PBA All-Star Game. Fast, focused, and fearless. Here's a roundup of stories we're watching now. I'm Sean Yao. Our top story at this hour, a heartbreaking homecoming for Negros Oriental Governor Roel Degamo. The remains of the government official were brought to grieving constituents in his hometown of Siaton. Justine Punsalang with the story.
Roel Degamo was born and grew up in Siaton. This was also where he began his political career, first serving as a member of the municipal council for 9 years. After that, he ran and won as a provincial board member, eventually becoming the governor of Negros Oriental at the death of the sitting governor and vice governor in 2010 and 2011. This morning, Siaton welcomed back its son. Residents from here and other nearby municipalities flocked to the gymnasium at the plaza to pay their last respects to the slain governor. They said they are both saddened and angered by Degamo's death. Fear is still gripping the province despite the heightened presence of police and military troops, since several suspects are still at large.
Naramdaman ko sa akong dibdib nga mayroong kaguol kakuan kay kalungkot.
Masakit. Namatay siya, walang alam siguro.
Malungkot. Dahil mabait siya. Lahat-lahat, galit at lungkot.
These employees of the municipal hall held black flags bearing the phrase "Justice for Gov. Degamo." Students from elementary to college missed their classes to condole with the Degamo family and the rest of the province. They came bearing white flags. Even criminology students participated in keeping the peace and order at the Siaton Plaza. In her speech, Pamplona Mayor Janice Degamo thanked the Negrenses for their support. Once again, he called for justice for her husband's brazen murder. She is also giving 5 members of the governor's police security the benefit of the doubt. The cops were supposedly missing on the day Degamo was gunned down.
Sa tingin ko, it is possible na what is in the list assigned to the governor may not be the exact number of people that stayed with him. Kasi nga, kung titignan nyo, yung nephew niya, board member. Yung anak namin, board member din. Ang alam ko, but I want this confirmed in the list, kung yung mga pangalan na nandoon, yun din ba yung naka-detail sa mga anak ko.
At 8 o'clock tonight, there will be a tribute for Governor Degamo here at the gymnasium. Tomorrow, his remains will be brought to Barangay Bonawon, the governor's place of birth. Degamo will be laid to rest in Bonawon on Thursday afternoon. For News 5, Justine Punsalang. We are One News.
And despite the heightened military presence in Negros Oriental, residents are still fearing for their security and livelihoods. Negrenses said that while they agree with the armed forces ramping up operations in the province, they are afraid of getting caught in the middle of potential encounters or crossfire, especially in public areas.
Hindi namin maiwasan yung takot kasi now and then nagta-travel din kami papunta sa work. Now and then may checkpoint po yung PNP, yung AFP. So hindi ko po sa sarili ko kung baka biglaan po ma'am na baka yung hinahanap nila andyan. So tapos andun kami.
Tourist destinations in Negros Oriental are also seeing a drop in bookings. Local resort owners say that some guests have canceled their reservations on the back of the assassination of Governor Degamo.
Nakita ko na mas nakunti na ang darating dito sa aming resort. Maraming nagka-cancel sa akin dahil yung ito pala yung talaga nga nangyari ngayon.
Sinasabi nila mismo, ma'am, na natatakot sila.
Yeah.
We did have a booking from Bacolod, company outing of 40. They were supposed to stay for 4 nights, and then they canceled specifically because they were not sure, or their company was not sure if the security or situation is safe.
We're bringing you more stories after this quick break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. Negros Oriental Congressman Arnie Teves will soon answer all the accusation that he's facing regarding the killing of Governor Roel Degamo. Brian Castillo tells us more in this report.
The camp of Congressman Arnie Teves says it again. The lawmaker has nothing to gain from the death of Negros Oriental Governor Roel Degamo. This according to Teves' legal counsel, Ferdinand Topacio.
Sino bang makikinabang dito sa mga nangyaring ito, ha? Na masira yung political base ng mga Teves. Ha, katulad doong sabi nga ni Kong Arnie, ano bang pakinabang ko kung mapatay si Governor Degamo? Uupo ba ang kapatid ko? Hindi. Ang umupo, kalyado rin niya. O, di ba? Anong mapapala ko? So, yun po ang tignan natin. Somewhere there, you will find the answer. But of course, with respect to proof, mahirap po. That is very hard to come by kasi nga, mukhang conspiracy ito eh.
Now, the lawyers of Teves are asking authorities to explore other leads, including suspects in the person of other politicians. They added that their client is not in hiding and would come forward to clear his name at the right time.
As I personally know Congressman Teves, he would return and to answer all these accusations against him. But of course, makikita nyo naman that even before this incident, he already predicted that there's already a security threat to his person and to his family. Definitely, he wants to return to answer these accusations. We just have to secure his safety and the safety of his family before he could really decide fully when to return.
The Justice Department, for its part, vows to keep Congressman Teves safe.
He will be secured. Hindi namin siya papabayaan. He will be secured.
Aside from Teves, authorities are investigating policemen who supposedly went missing on the day Digamo was assassinated. PNP Chief Rodolfo Azurin Jr. finds this suspicious, especially since there have been death threats on Digamo before March 4. But the country's top cop is not jumping to conclusions.
Initially kasi, ang dyan is the 5 personnel na sinasabi na security ni Governor Digamo. Ito ay siya mismo ang namili. Kilala niya itong mga ito. And siguro they have to explain nga bakit But usually kasi yung 5 na yan, may rotation kasi yan eh. Hindi naman ibig sabihin na everyday yung 5 na yan ay magre-report for duty, but definitely it's either 2-2, ganyan 2-3. So depende sa arrangement nila. That's why we have yet to determine or sila mismo ang sasagot na yan na bakit nung time ng incident na yon ay isa lang sa security detail niya ang nandoon.
The PNP has filed at least 17 cases against the suspects in the Digamo slay. These are for murder, frustrated murder, attempted murder, violation of the Comprehensive Firearms and Ammunition Act, and illegal possession of explosives. For News 5, Brian Castillo. We are One News.
And the Bureau of Internal Revenue is exploring more efficient ways to collect taxes from online sellers. The BIR admits that it is difficult to monitor traders engaged in e-commerce. With this, the agency is monitoring transactions in online platforms. Meanwhile, the Finance Department is looking into the feasibility of implementing a carbon tax. The DOF had earlier pushed for a carbon tax to encourage businesses to shift to more sustainable practices. And in sports, Team Japet Aguilar is the winner of the PBA All-Star Game. Marty Bautista tells us more.
Thousands of fans flocked to Pasay City in Iloilo for the PBA All-Star Game that capped off the return of the All-Star Weekend after 4 years. Before the actual game, the players first participated in a dance-off that had a 150,000 peso cash prize. But the actual game was even more intense with the introduction of the 4-point line. Team Japet Aguilar tried to break free from Team Scotty Thompson in the first half. Team Scotty, though, regained the lead after the third quarter. But in the back and forth fourth quarter, they found themselves down by 4. 2 4-point attempts from CJ Perez and Thompson were off the mark as the game ended in favor of Team Japet, 140-136. Paul Lee of the Magnolia Hotshots was named All-Star MVP. He scored 32 points on 7 of 13 from the 4-point line.
You know, these guys are competitive. You know, they like to compete. And I think Paul Lee got us off in the right direction with all of his 4-point shots, amazing shots that he made. And I think that was kind of key to everything.
First-time All-Star Kevin Alas of the NLEX Road Warriors said he expected an intense game between both teams. Alas led the way for Team Scotty with 35 points of his own.
Kinausap kami ni Commissioner nila Coach Yang na let's make this game competitive. So we see they were really playing defense from start until then.
Team Japet received 300,000 pesos, 150,000 each from winning the All-Star Game and the pre-game dance-off. Meanwhile, with the All-Star Weekend in the books, the PBA Governor's Cup returns to action on Wednesday, March 15 at the PhilSports Arena. First to play are the Northport Batang Pier and TNT Tropang Giga at 3 p.m., followed by the NLEX Road Warriors and the San Miguel Beermen at 5:45 p.m. For News 5, Marty Bautista. We are One News.
One News Now will be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. I'm Sean Yao. We are One News. All sides, all the time.